What is fascinating about the Epic of Gilgamesh is the fact that it relates to us a story of Enkidu, who allegedly was a giant.
People familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh might think it's just a fictional story, something unreal, too unbelievable, or merely a bedtime tale. But guess what? Archaeologists in Iraq have just unearthed a tomb, and they've found chilling evidence showing that Gilgamesh, the legendary giant, was no myth. This famous giant truly existed. What was the reason for the United States' invasion of Iraq? Was it the shock of collapsing towers, the lure of oil reserves, threats of weapons of mass destruction? Or could it have been something far more extraordinary? A provocative theory suggests that Iraq held ancient secrets, including a fabled Stargate dating back to Nebuchadnezzar's era, and even relics connected to Gilgamesh, the legendary Nephilim, rumored to hold supernatural powers. In 2003, the US-led invasion toppled Saddam Hussein's regime. Yet there was more at play than mere politics. Saddam Hussein harbored a unique obsession, reviving the ancient city of Babylon, aiming to cast himself as the modern Nebuchadnezzar. Throughout the 1980s, even during the grueling Iran-Iraq War, Saddam poured millions into Babylon's reconstruction, drawn to the legacy of Nebuchadnezzar, the fierce Babylonian king who had once waged bloody campaigns across what is now Iran and Israel. In his own eyes, Saddam was destined to follow in the footsteps of this historic ruler. Enter the Stargate theory. As Saddam rebuilt Babylon's remnants, some believe he might have uncovered a Stargate, the mythical portal mentioned in the Book of Daniel. This ancient tale recounts Nebuchadnezzar's invasion of Israel in 589 BC, after which he brought back captives, including 3 followers of God, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Nebuchadnezzar demanded all bow before his image, and when these 3 defied him, they were thrown into a fiery furnace, heated to 7 times its usual temperature. Miraculously, they emerged unscathed, shielded by a mysterious 4th figure, like the Son of God. Some theorists propose that this fiery furnace could have been more than it appeared, a Stargate, perhaps a portal to another realm. Was this 4th figure a divine being, or something extraterrestrial, intervening from a parallel world? To believers of the Stargate theory, this was no ordinary furnace, but a link to otherworldly powers. For others, the figure was simply God himself, protecting the faithful. Nebuchadnezzar's life, in the end, took a different turn. Witnessing miracles, he ultimately recognized the divine power he once rejected, honoring God's eternal justice. Saddam, however, seemed to miss the lesson, clinging to his vision of Babylon's past grandeur without embracing the beliefs that shaped its legacy. The theory that Iraq's fiery furnace was a Stargate or extraterrestrial portal doesn't stand up as the true reason for the 2003 US invasion. But could there be a deeper connection between ancient artifacts, supernatural relics, and the fall of Baghdad? Some speculate that Iraq held extraordinary evidence, artifacts linked to the Nephilim, Gilgamesh's legendary tomb, and other ancient relics rumored to possess supernatural powers. When U.S. forces entered Baghdad on April 10, 2003, a cultural catastrophe unfolded. Looters stormed Iraq's National Museum, a sanctuary of history since 1923, and plundered its collection. In less than 36 hours, thousands of priceless objects vanished. The New York Times called it one of the most significant cultural disasters in recent Middle Eastern history. Though museum staff managed to safeguard about 8,000 pieces, over 15,000 artifacts disappeared, including many from Iraq's ancient and mythological past. Interestingly, accounts from the invasion suggest that specific artifacts were targeted. Witnesses reported archaeologists among the U.S. military, raising questions about whether they sought relics with a purpose beyond preservation. The tomb of Gilgamesh, the legendary Nephilim and ruler of Uruk, was rumored to be one such target. In 2018, a Freedom of Information Act request linked to Hillary Clinton's emails raised eyebrows, as it revealed a request for information on the location of Nephilim and the tomb of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, a towering figure in ancient Mesopotamian mythology and the real-life fifth king of Uruk, was celebrated as a hero, warrior, and demigod. Known for his immense strength and portrayed in art holding lions as if they were pets, Gilgamesh's tomb has fascinated generations. Some believe the U.S. invasion had less to do with conventional military objectives and more with a hidden mission to uncover this tomb and, perhaps, the supposed powers of the Nephilim lineage. The original justification for the invasion, Iraq's alleged weapons of mass destruction, proved baseless, fueling theories that the true objective might have been to find relics linked to ancient legends. Intriguingly, around the time of the invasion, BBC reported on a breakthrough. Archaeologists claimed to have located Gilgamesh's tomb. Based on ancient records, the tomb was said to lie beneath the Euphrates, built in a parted section of the riverbed. The site reportedly matched the burial descriptions, yet after the initial news, details of the discovery faded. Was this tomb truly found? And, if so, what became of it? The lack of follow-up has only added to the mystery, leaving many to wonder if the U.S. invasion had motives deeply entwined with history and myth, rather than politics alone. The story of Iraq's looted artifacts is both a tragedy and a mystery. After the U.S. invaded Iraq in 2003, thousands of priceless artifacts vanished not only from Iraq's National Museum, but also from hastily excavated archaeological sites across the country. These weren't ordinary thefts, but seemed almost as if driven by a hidden purpose, a quest for particular objects believed to hold ancient, even supernatural power. Some theorists argue that the invasion was more than a military operation. It was a meticulously planned opportunity to recover relics connected to ancient mysteries. This idea resonates with the story of the Spear of Destiny, an artifact that, according to legend, pierced the side of Jesus Christ and has been sought after for centuries as a source of supernatural power. A now infamous episode of Decoded, a TV show aired years ago, explored how secret societies might still be seeking such objects, hoping to harness their power to influence or even control world events. A source in the episode claimed that his employer was part of a clandestine group called the Bena Nephilim, or Sons of the Fallen. Their goal? To uncover supernatural artifacts and use them to elevate one of their leaders to Messiah status, all while embracing a belief system that painted Lucifer as a benevolent force and the God of the Bible as oppressive. Such beliefs in hidden powers aren't new. In ancient Babylon, known today as Iraq, King Nimrod and his followers tried to build the Tower of Babel to reach the heavens and rival God himself. But their hubris was cut short when God shattered their unified language, scattering them across the earth. Time and again, human history has shown this thirst for power beyond what is natural, and such pursuits have often led to disastrous ends. But could these ancient ambitions have resurfaced today? Some point to the growing collection of genetic data by companies like 23andMe. Is this purely for medical science? Or could it be a new way of tracing lineages, even ancient Nephilim bloodlines? Recently, a major data breach exposed information from over 7 million 23andMe users, intensifying speculation about the real motives behind collecting genetic information. Could they be seeking proof of ancient connections, searching for the remnants of those who might carry a trace of a long-lost bloodline? The lure of supernatural power, often dismissed as myth, remains a shadowy yet persistent thread in history's tapestry. From the Tower of Babel to the palaces of Babylon, and now to modern labs and databases, the human drive to uncover hidden forces, whether divine, demonic, or something in between, continues to spark curiosity and suspicion. In Iraq, the looting of these ancient treasures may be yet another chapter in this unending pursuit. Throughout the ages, a rebellious few have cast God as a villain, seeking to harness forbidden powers and even trace the bloodlines of the Nephilim, hoping to usher in an Antichrist figure equipped with deceptive wonders and supernatural might. This desire for godlike power isn't new. In ancient Babylon, present-day Iraq, a powerful king named Nimrod once led his people to build the Tower of Babel, a structure intended to pierce the heavens and elevate humanity to divine status. "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens," they proclaimed. "Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over the earth." In response, God intervened, scattering the builders and confusing their language. The city was named Babel, a lasting reminder of human pride brought low. Despite the failure at Babel, this ambition to attain divine power has resurfaced throughout history and will rise again, only to face inevitable defeat each time. According to biblical prophecy, the end-times battle of Armageddon will see the kings of the earth gather in the valley of Megiddo to make war against Jesus at his second coming. As described in Revelation, "I saw the beast, the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army." Just as Nimrod's arrogance was humbled, the armies gathered against Christ will face a swift end. Jesus will defeat them with a word, capturing the beast and the false prophet, figures who deceived countless souls with miraculous signs and led many astray. Both will be cast into a lake of fire, and those who followed them will be struck down, with birds filling the skies to feast on their fallen bodies. In the world of conspiracies and mysteries, some believe in the existence of stargates, portals, and ancient artifacts with supernatural powers. They argue that the world holds far more mystery than we realize, and that such phenomena will only become more prominent as we move forward. This idea of individuals attempting to use supernatural artifacts to elevate themselves to godlike power echoes through history. But as the stories of Babel and Armageddon show, these pursuits are destined to fail, and the fate of the Antichrist and false prophet will be no different. They, too, will be cast into hell along with Satan, fallen angels, and all who reject Christ. The book of Revelation paints a powerful image of Christ's return, describing how he will effortlessly overcome all evil forces on earth. "Now I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he who sat on him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he judges and makes war. His eyes were like a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. He had a name written that no one knew except himself. He was clothed in a robe dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies in heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, followed him on white horses. Now out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he should strike the nations. And he himself will rule them with a rod of iron. He himself treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And he has on his robe and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. As prophecies unfold, Jesus alone is revealed as the ultimate authority, with a power beyond any earthly force. His word alone will shatter all opposition at Armageddon, reminding us that true strength lies not in the pursuit of supernatural relics or false wonders, but in following the one whose power endures beyond all creation.